future defensive coordinator. A lot of options when you have Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey at the corners. Taysom Hill off the play fake. Fires across midfield. Complete to the Ravens 35. And that's Callaway taken down at the Ravens 35-yard line. The dink and dunk on Wink.
Too many dunks. Too many dinks.
Taysom Hill on third down. Flush from the pocket. Has to throw it along the sideline. He's got a man. It's right up the middle. Ball comes loose, and the Ravens have recovered it at the 9-yard line. Deshaun Elliott with a fumble recovery. The Ravens will start the drive at their 8-yard line. Off the play fake. McSorley from the end zone. Goes complete. Short game.
You know, it is a different situation. 5 is a lot different than 10.
And Trace McSorley is wrapped up on what looked like a design quarterback draw. Rod, did you ever have single-digit swag?
Does a single-digit get you swag?
Apparently it does now. And it is intercepted as the Ravens will get the second defensive turnover of the game. Puts the Saints into a 3rd down and 4. Taysom Hill, blitz pressure coming. Hill lobs it over the middle. It is caught in midfield. And it's a rookie. You've got to learn all the stuff that you probably weren't exposed to in college. Screen pass, and it is broken up by Patrick Queen. So he's actually playing his very first preseason game. 3rd down and long. Taysom Hill under pressure. Flush from the pocket. Hit and dropped back at the 47-yard line by Patrick Queen. Jameis Winston in at quarterback for the Saints. He'll hand it off to Murray. The ball comes loose at the 35-yard line. Get an injury update as it becomes available. McSorley to throw on 2nd down. He's tripped up and dropped back at the 40-yard line. And that's going to bring us to the end of the opening quarter. Tucker's kick is on the way. It has the distance. It is through the uprights. I like the marriage of young corners and young edge rushers. It's Tony Jones Jr. breaking through, and he's across the 45 out close to midfield. That's also why the Ravens have likely won 17 straight preseason games. Tony Jones, another big run. This time he's all the way down to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 15 on the play.
And he believed in himself, and he's here.
2nd down and 10. Jameis Winston down the middle, complete at the 20-yard line. He sees great things for this young man. 2nd down and 9 for the Saints in the Grill Mates red zone. And to the ground game, getting around the edge. Tony Jones with a 5, dives for the pylon. Waiting for the signal from the officials. Touchdown Saints.
Was number 30 Westry or the linebacker on the edge. One of those two players has to secure the edge. Now the coverage went to Westry on the inside receiver, so he could have been inside of the play. I can't read the number there, but anyway, inside that defensive end. I would guess that the defensive end was one responsible.
Touchdown stands from the replay booth. And so the Saints' extra point try is good. On 3rd and 7. Trace McSorley, blitz pressure coming. He is drilled, but he throws a strike to the 42-yard line. Devin Duvernay will move the chains.
If you notice on that play really quickly, this referee stayed over the ball. That's because the Ravens substituted a player. Although they're in the huddle, they're substituted a player. That has to give the defense every right to get lined up properly.
McSorley operating from under center. Off the play fake, deep drop, looking left, firing to the far sideline. He's got Jalen Moore on the reception inside the 30-yard line. And the Ravens offense is getting into gear now. 3rd and 1. Power formation. Williams carrying to the right side. 2nd effort. That kid just churned his way close to a 1st down. Ravens have had a lot of success landing backup kickers around this league. Verity from 42. Kick is on the way, and it is good.
Lastly, just the personality of this year's version of the team. How would you best describe it? As the defense makes another play.
You get off so you keep fresh legs. It's those long drives that really wear guys down.
Jameis Winston on 3rd down, throws across the middle. He's got a man at the 40-yard line out to the 48. More than happy to share with their success with the parents that made it happen. That's all coming up in the 2nd half tonight. Jameis Winston on 1st down, throws a strike down the middle. Inside the 25, down to the 20-yard line. Dalen Hayes brought sack pressure earlier in the game. Jameis Winston wants to throw. His pass is complete to the 10. And stepping out of bounds with a 1st down. Jameis Winston from under center. Looks to the right. Fires to the back of the end zone. He's got a man for a touchdown. Coming down with a reception is Lil Jordan Humphrey. 80-yard drive in just under 2 minutes. Extra point try is good.
You really don't want to let either one of them go. But if there's a distinct 1 and a distinct 2 and 3, then you can.
And that is intercepted at the 40-yard line of the Saints. Trace McSorley picked off by Bryce Thompson.
And your guys got a chance to go up for it, and if not, safety takes it out of bounds. It's incomplete.
Jameis Winston, under a minute to go. He's coming deep near sideline. He's got a man. It's deflected, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15-yard line. Geno Stone along the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 25. Sorely out of the shotgun. Little swing pass to Tyson Williams. Sidestep the tackler. Now he's got to get out of bounds, and he does out close to the 30-yard line. Ravens send 4 out in the routes. McSorley will keep it on a run, crosses the midfield stripe, gets out of bounds with 6 seconds left.
He's got to get rid of the ball, though. He can't hold it and look. Throw it.
Be a slant, right?
He's got to throw it.
McSorley throws quickly. He's got Jalen Moore down at the 34. The Ravens will take a timeout with 2 seconds remaining. Jake Verity, a 53-yard field goal try. Clears the line, has the leg, and this kick is good. Jake Verity from 53 to end the half, and the Ravens head to the locker room, trailing the Saints 14-9. May not be familiar with some of these guys, but don't lose sight of the fact that these are lifetime dreams on the line. Ray will take that one 2 yards deep, brings it out of the end zone. Toss to the 15, to the 20, and taken down to the 23. And play fake, goes to his left. Toss complete to the tight end. Oliver put the shoulder down and barrels his way forward. Saints bring a blitz. Huntley in trouble. He escapes to the left. He'll tuck and run. He's got a first down and more. Across the 45 and tumbles down to the 49-yard line.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, 3rd and 3. Let's see who he gets.
Huntley will throw over the middle. It is bobbled and dropped. Josh Oliver was the tight end. On 2nd and long, Ian Book throws complete to the 15 along the sideline, 30, 35, 40, and picking up a first down is Easop Winston. Then he saw the Ravens side Justin Houston. Screen pass complete. Jones, he crosses the 45, crosses midfield all the way down to the Ravens 43. He's looking at young guys to extend that to 18. He's booked with a deep drop under pressure. Another screen complete to Jones. Near sideline 40. Big hole up the middle inside the 15. Ball jarred loose, and the Ravens have recovered it. The Ravens force a 5th turnover as Aaron Deoye comes up with a fumble recovery.
But if somebody is unblocked and typically on the edge, that's his own reason for it.
Here comes a blitz. Huntley escapes, coming near sideline, crosses the 40, stumbles forward, and stretches for the first down. It's a long summer and a lot of work to be done. Tyson Williams gets the carry. He's got a nice hold, bounces outside the numbers, 35. Williams inside the 30, and is all the way down to the 27-yard line. That is good for a Ravens first down.
After they get a little rhythm about themselves.
Which is very much what we've seen tonight. Tyler Huntley rolls to the right, throws complete. Josh Oliver on a reception. He's got a first down as he's taken down at the 15-yard line. In front of the lead, Huntley will throw. He's pressured, runs to his left. Ooh, and he is cut in half. Ball comes loose, and the Saints recover at the 10. So Tyler Huntley made a classic mistake. Huntley turned it over with a fumble on the last possession. Hands it off. Nice run here. That's Nate McCrary all the way out to the 42-yard line. Tyler Wallace shows off Spider-Man stickiness with the hands on the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Huntley throws down the middle. Good night.
Whether that's right or not, that's how I would think about it as a spectator.
Huntley throws complete on 3rd down. That's Eli Wolf, the backup tight end, making a sliding catch at the 24-yard line. The ball goes. Huntley will throw on 1st down. Scramble to the left, extends the play, lob near sideline. It is caught. Benjamin Victor down at the 5-yard line. He's both fan, friend, and mentor to guys like Huntley and McSorley. Huntley keeps it on the read option. Up the middle, is in the end zone. Tyler Huntley puts the Ravens in front for the first time in the second half. Rob's looking at me like, son, I'm going to whack you in the head. Tyson Williams will carry it in for the two-point conversion. Get in. Jake Verity with a kickoff. It'll be taken 3 yards deep, brought out of the end zone. Across the 15 to the 20. Good coverage by the Ravens there.
He's got the same offense being called for him that Lamar would use. That's not what McSorley was using. He was a little bit different. Not all the plays, but several of the plays were plays for one. He didn't do any of his own read. He was strictly just a prototypical run game.
Third down and 8. Book out of the shotgun, drifting to his left, trying to extend the play. Now he reverses, comes back to the right. He's going to be hit and sacked back at the 25-yard line. Jalen Furman.
Well, ties will end. Nobody's going for a tie.
Possibly the final play before the 2-minute warning. That is a completion out to the 45 to 50 in the Ravens territory, all the way down to the... Ravens have won 17 straight preseason games. Ian Book will throw. Lobs it to the far sideline, and it is picked off! Sean Wade! Tyler Huntley takes a snap, leans forward, and that will do it. Coaches and players can meet at midfield, and John Harbaugh has his win number 1 in 2021 preseason, his 18th straight win in August.